So in my past videos, I explained each Vanguard's kit and where they land on a defense or offensive scale. With that out there, I wanted to use the understanding of each hero to help new players find which hero is the easiest to play when learning a brand new role. So today I'll be ranking each Vanguard from easiest to hardest. I'll essentially just be explaining the biggest feats I learned when adjusting to each Vanguard's different playstyles and ability cycles. This video is sort of more made for the people who have played the game and are switching from different roles and players with a brief understanding of what each champion has in their kit already. If you want a more in-depth guide for each Vanguard, check out my How to Choose Your Main Vanguard and Marvel Rivals video. So as you can see, we have a little tier list here, and we have our 8 Vanguards, including our Mr. Captain America, one that I was not personally allowed to play. But as you can see, we have Mr. Magneto in the front, so let's run him down. So personally, I feel like Magneto is one of the easiest Vanguards to pick up and learn right off the bat. During the alpha, when all we had to work with was Penny, Strange, Hulk, Groot, and Magneto, he was really the only Vanguard I leaned towards when I was autofilled, and that was strictly because of his playstyle being basic and familiar. His shields are straight Zarya and Reinhardt, and his primary and secondary attack are straight Sigma. Magneto's playstyle and abilities are astonishingly concise, with even his team-up ability with Scarlet Witch being extremely brain-dead. Magneto still does have his responsibilities to actively be thinking about hero abilities so he can be ready to counter with his ultimate or potentially shield allies. With all that being said, I still believe Magneto's gameplay is fairly easy and his ability execution is the easiest of the rest of the Vanguards. So with that being said, I'm slamming his ass and easy, bruh. It's clear for aggressive offensive heroes like Venom, you need constant communication the higher up you go on the ladder. That's shown from top Overwatch players.
Let's stop now. 3, 2, 1.
Learning each map's strongest swinging spots and resting spots are key on Venom when trying to one-shot a strategist or find the quickest escape. But also when you respawn, just redeploying as fast as possible on the map. When you understand each spot as second nature, you can now focus your brain on other important plays, like which hero has their abilities available and who doesn't. The further up you go, you'll notice strategists starting to use their abilities to counter yours more and more. If they're good, they can counter your secondary attack, Cellular Corrosion. But if they're really good, they can stop your ultimate and your swing. It's incredibly frustrating, but that's the crucial difference when taking on an offensive role. Baiting out abilities so you can use yours, just like any strategy game of attack and defense. They make a move and you answer. Venom is one of those heroes where I already believe he's more difficult to master than your standard front-to-back type hero like Doctor Strange or Magneto. That's strictly off the basis that you have more responsibilities. Hypothetically, if someone had more responsibilities than somebody else, you'd label that as more difficult. I'm not saying some heroes are more important or less important, but just more difficult. And for those reasons, I believe Venom's a hard champion to learn and master. For Doctor Strange, I rate him a little bit higher than Magneto, strictly because he has more in his kit that involves paying attention to certain moments. For instance, Strange already has more responsibility with his shield due to the fact that he can fly around blocking champions like Storm, Scarlet Witch, and major ultimates like Iron Man, Hela, Star-Lord, Magneto, and again, Scarlet Witch. Then you have Strange's passive, which builds up anti-heal on him for every hit to an enemy and every hit from an enemy. I feel like having to monitor that alone while also fighting and shielding is already just more of a job than Magneto has to deal with. Because of the more responsibility here, I throw Strange into medium. But still, Strange's defensive game plan is still fairly concise. He just has a lot more brain-on responsibilities than someone like Magneto. For Groot, I didn't know whether I didn't enjoy playing him because his playstyle was unfun or just too difficult for me to understand. But I do believe he has a lot more potential and setup than people give him credit for. Groot's playstyle is incredibly concise, while his ability cycles can be crazy by looking to wall off enemies and turning the battlefield into a frickin' Fortnite playground. I don't rate Groot super hard because I believe with enough games on him, anyone can master his wall placement, and I don't believe it's a super difficult ability to master. But still, with that being said, I rate him higher than a champion like Magneto, strictly because Groot is still looking for plays. He's still on the offense with his walls, regardless. Heroes like Magneto are rarely looking to be the playmakers, and even Strange, he's only doing so when he has the Agamotto available. That's it. Also, I do believe Groot's positioning is a lot more important than someone like Magneto's because Groot's a meatball. And again, you should be looking for plays as Groot. Yeah, so with all that being said, I'm throwing Groot in the medium tier. I do not care. That champion is harder than Magneto. I don't care. As of right now, I'm not too sure if Captain America can even be played as a peeling Vanguard. To me, he strictly looks like a hero who wants to dive in so much, and he can potentially even replace a standard duelist spot. Even though Captain America has a one-dimensional playstyle of just going forward then, understanding the timing of your shield as a parry basically, your cooldowns for jumping in and out are going to be insanely detrimental to your play. He's another hero like Venom, where because you're diving deep constantly, you have to be aware of the cooldowns from every champion that you're diving on top of, as opposed to the heroes playing defense. His playstyle looks really difficult to learn and to pull off consistently, and I can see a lot of deaths taking place when trying to perfect his craft. So for the reasons of positioning, timing, offense, and having a strong understanding of each hero, I throw him in hard. Hopefully though, when I get a chance to play as Cap and against him, I can finally understand where his power really lies. For Thor and Hulk, I compare them to be the same type of hero in my brain, and that's why for them, I'm throwing both their names on screen. Thor and Hulk have an extremely diverse playstyle than other Vanguards. It is clear, you can play these heroes like your standard Venom or Captain America, who constantly dive in and try to cause chaos by either stalling the payload or eliminating other heroes, but I don't believe that's the best way or the only way to play them at all. I strongly believe Hulk and Thor strive when peeling. Both of their dash abilities are extremely detrimental to land when peeling and engaging, and if you screw that up, it can be a game-losing play. It's crucial to be on your A-game as Thor when you're peeling against Black Panthers or Magics by landing your knockback, and as Hulk when soaring through the sky and grabbing heroes out of midair. So not only their diverse playstyle of having to focus on what the other tank is doing to either mirror or match their energy, but also landing crucial abilities that champions like Venom don't have to worry about as much since he has an AoE slam and he can just swing away. And for those reasons, I throw both of these beasts into very hard. I know, I feel like for Hulk, I'm gonna get a lot of dislike, but I genuinely do believe the higher up I went in rank, the stronger and stronger I thought Hulk was, typically because the players that were playing as him were now cycling their cooldowns perfectly. And that's the biggest factor to learn these champions specifically. The amount of work a Hulk player was capable of putting in with proper execution showed me that nobody was able to execute him prior to the person I was playing against. And that was my exact same mindset on Thor. Everyone thought he was a Doomfist type tank who flies in, but in reality, he's a diverse peeling champion who clobbers any melee hero in a 1v1. Hey, my mind was made about old Brucey that day, and personally, I gladly will be proven wrong when the game fully comes out. But for now, that motherfucker's hard, complicated, and OP. Now last but not least, Peni Parker. Peni Parker is just the definition of unique, bruh. I'll keep saying it and I'll keep preaching it. And I really can't tell if it's because no one knows how to play as her or if it's because she's genuinely just left in the dust. Peni Parker's a hero where if you don't execute the one playstyle she has, she's just a fly on the wall. I do think if you can execute her playstyle and use her mines effectively, you can genuinely stall a good amount of time on the first map payloads. But I believe this strategy is extremely difficult to execute because you need the help of all 5 of your teammates to understand how you guys are playing and what the main focus is. And that's just straight up not gonna happen in your open queue ranked game, bro. That it just won't. Because of her one playstyle as a champion, I feel like she definitely is hard. She really is the only hero I've seen where if you play around her playstyle consistently, you can always get your 2 to 3 minutes of stall time. It can work, but again, this playstyle is incredibly difficult, and the risk to reward is just not worth playing when you have other champions. It's just not. At the end of the day, I feel like most Vanguards are incredibly fun to play. They have their own unique playstyle, and it comes down to how you want to play and who you want to play. That'll game change almost anything. If a champion looks hard to you, practice makes perfect. That's all that really matters. I hope this quick ranking system helped you choose your champion, and I want to know what you guys think. These are all incredibly subjective opinions from just my experience playing the alpha and the beta, and whatever you guys think, let me know in the comment section below. Peace.